Good morning, everybody. This is Judge Nicola. We don't have Mr. Rabb here quite yet, and I still need to get my computer set up. Joe, do you know what the problem was with the computer this morning? Any idea?
What did he say about the computer? There may have been some update going. He pushed shut everything off and then rebooted it and it came on.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should have rebooted
That's
it.
the first thing that he did.
And then I was so annoyed. I was just like,
It didn't hear.
It was already on, but it was doing what it did yesterday. And then I, of course, went and pushed the buttons here. That didn't work, so that's why I said we had to get him in to get it fixed. Okay. Ms. Armbruster, could you check with Mr. Rabb just to make sure he knows that I was planning to start court at 8:30? I know some of the other people start at 9, even though we've got the 8:30 docket, but I started 8:30. I probably should have made that clear yesterday.
I'll call him now.
Okay, thanks. And let's get this pulled up. And have we been able to determine everybody that needs an interpreter this morning?
Your Honor, he's on his way.
Okay, thank you. Did he know I was starting early, or he didn't know? He didn't know. Well, they start this docket at 8:30 and with this many people.
It seems like it was a big misunderstanding because we've been in contact all morning because my only case on the docket is actually in custody.
Oh, okay. All right. So maybe we'll take yours first so you can be done once he gets here.
Thank you, Judge.
I might actually be the only one that starts at 8:30. I just do. When it
I
says
think
8:30,
it's a good mix of some of judges that do start at 8:30 actually.
well, everybody's here at 8:30, so I just feel like, I feel like I should, but. All right. As I said, everybody, my name is Judge Nicola. You guys are all here this morning for an arraignment. An arraignment is an opportunity for you to enter a plea to the charges against you. That plea is guilty, not guilty, or no contest. In some of your cases, official charges may not yet have been filed. In those cases, the state attorney may be requesting that the court continue your arraignment. The continuation of the arrangement would allow the state additional time to make a filing decision. Also, in some of your cases, we may not be able to address your case this morning because there's a victim involved. In the state of Florida, a victim has an absolute right to participate in all stages of these proceedings. What that means is that we can't offer you an opportunity to resolve your case if there has not been any victim participation. Also, in some of your cases, there may not be an offered resolution of your case this morning, which means we'll need to have you come back on another date. And finally, some of you may want to seek the services of an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney could be appointed to represent you. What you'll need to do if you'd like to seek a court-appointed attorney is that you will need to fill out an application for the services of the public defender. And you will need to do that after this hearing. If the public defender is appointed to represent you, that public defender will represent you at the next hearing, which will be held remotely.
Si es, si el abogado de oficio califica para que lo represente o si usted califica, tendría la próxima corte sería por Zoom.
If you wish to seek a private attorney, that next hearing will also be conducted remotely and the private attorney will appear.
También si el abogado que se califica para ser privado, también sería remoto. La próxima vez no tendría usted que decir que le
You can, of course, always represent yourself. That is your right.
por supuesto, usted puede representarse siempre. Ese derecho es usted.
But what I would ask of you is that after this hearing is concluded,
Usted diga que después que se acabe esta audiencia de hoy,
and you know who your judge is,
usted sabe quién es su juez,
that you please be in contact with that judge's judicial assistant so that you have information to allow you to appear remotely.
manténgase en contacto con la asistente judicial de ese juez para que sepan cuándo es que tienen que comparecer.
We are still trying to limit the number of people that come into the courthouse due to the COVID situation.
Debido a la situación que existe con el COVID, estamos tratando de limitar la cantidad de personas que entran aquí.
And as a result, we're still trying to do things mostly remotely.
Y por eso estamos tratando de hacer la mayoría de las cosas vía remoto.
Mr. Rabb, my apologies. I usually start at 8:30 and I probably should have told you that. I think I might be one of the only judges that does.
Yeah, Your Honor, my apologies, actually. Thank you.
No problem. I figured that I was like, oh, I think I might not have told him that I come on at 8:30. So my first question that I want to ask everybody is there anybody that's in the room right now that simply wants to enter a plea of not guilty?
Alguna de las personas que me hacen ya tienen decidido declararse no culpables.
To allow you to either get yourself a public defender or a private attorney.
Eso es para allá, que salgan más rápido. Un abogado privado o un oficio.
If you would like to do that, what I'll do is I'll have you come up, put your name on the record, and then we will give you another court date.
Si ese es el caso suyo, lo hago ahorita.
Come on up.
Me parece.
Good morning, sir. What is your name? What's your last name? Mr. Johnson? Okay, let me just find you real quick. All right, Mr. Johnson, and your name is Early Ray? And this is 20 CT 1979. Has this case been filed on, Mr. Rabb?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, sir, what we'll do at this time is we'll enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Your case will then be set for a pretrial, and that'll give you the opportunity, if you would like, to talk to an attorney. I do see that your charges are failing to register your motor vehicle and your attached tag not assigned. If you can get that fixed, we might have a good resolution for you. So you borrowed a car from somebody else and that person hadn't registered, is that what you're saying it? Well, if you could get that information so that could be provided to the state attorney's office, that it's not your car, and the situation with that, we might be able to resolve it for you. We just need that information. Can you get the information from your friends so that we can verify that? No? Is there a proposed resolution, Mr. Rabb, for this gentleman?
There is, Your Honor, and the defendant also has another pending case, but they're already signed with their patents, so there's no need for assignment.
Okay, good.
Global resolution your offer in case 20 CT 1979, which is this case, there will be a low price if there's a plea to an adjudication of cost to 20 CT 1012.
And what's the charge in 20 CT 1012?
Yes, Your Honor, that's what I was just searching for you, and that charge, Your Honor, is a non-moving traffic violation, again, attached to unassigned.
So if I understand correctly, that the offer is that this case that's currently pending would be dismissed if you entered a plea to the other charge, which is also a tag not assigned. And what were the terms? Was it?
Yes, Your Honor, we just need adjudication of guilt or cost of prosecution.
So it'd be an adjudication of guilt, course, tort costs, and cost of prosecution. Is that something you're interested in doing, or would you like me to give you another court date? You want another court date? Okay. So that's what we'll do. We'll enter your plea of not guilty and we'll give you a pretrial. Yes. Thank you.
It looks like the next hearing date for the non-jury on the active case is March 1st. And that looks like it's actually set. It appears to be a lot.
I think we should just set them both at 1:30 and see if there's a resolution. That way you don't have to come at 9, 10 in the morning and then come back at 1:30. What, sir? Okay, bless you.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna set this case on the March 1st at 1:30 non-jury for the second non-jury.
Okay, and then you'll be in front of Judge Adams. Thank you. Okay. Anybody else who would simply like to enter a plea of not guilty today and get another court date? Okay, nobody else. All right, Todd, give me some people to come up. I don't know who's been.
Could I go ahead?
I did tell Ms. Armpriester I would address her first because she only has one case and she has a client who's in custody. So just give me 1 second. No, you can stand up here. We'll call you next. You can go ahead and stand up here. I just want to get her case heard. 21 MM 142 Justin Wright, Mr. Armpriester?
Yes, Judge. Could we move it to an in custody or jail arraignment docket, please?
Yes. When would that be?
Like for tomorrow?
Do you want it for tomorrow?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Tomorrow would be fine. Okay, perfect. And just give me 1 second, sir. Mr. Sabola, what do you have, sir?
Good morning, Judge. I've got 2 matters on your 8:30 calendar. The first one is Daniel Cristobal.
21 CT 228. Yes, what are we doing for Mr. Cristobal?
We've been offered the deferred prosecution program, and we'd like to accept that, Your Honor.
Okay, wonderful. What we'll do is we'll enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf and set him for a pretrial. That'll just be a control date. In the event he's in diversion and he is doing well, he won't have to come back, or you won't have to come back.
Okay.
All right. Your other one is
Nicola
Morales Zavala?
Yes, Judge. We've got a motion to consolidate on this, as well as the no valid license. He's also got a moving violation, which is driving on a median. And we'd like to consolidate those two, and then we've been offered the deferred prosecution program again for the no valid license, and we'd like to accept that with the 2 tickets being under that program.
Okay. I haven't seen a motion to consolidate, but maybe it's not mine. Maybe it went to the judge, whoever has it. But that works for me. 21 CT 221. Let's move that to a pretrial enter plea not guilty. Mr. Torres, are you here for Mr. Tyler?
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here on Freddie Arraignments.
Okay, just give me a minute. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't realize I had these. Yes? How do you spell the last name, sir?
A-R-E, V as in Victor, A-L-O.
Yes.
So the last one that I'm asking about is 21 CT 1, Mr. Nicholas Morales. I believe that Her Honor evacuated the trial docket.
Correct.
As a control date.
Yep. Sir, do you have a case number?
Putting it up right now, Judge. Sorry, my computer was also restarting. Give me 2 seconds, I'll have it.
And what's your name, sir, so I can pull your case up and I'll take you next? What's your last name? Miller? Okay. M-I-L-L-E-R? I don't see you. You're not on the docket. Do you have paperwork?
What's your first name?
Isaiah. I-S-A-I-H? I-S-I-A-H. Okay. What am I Oh, wait a minute, I see you. You're on the 815. For whatever reason, they put two of them on 815 and the rest of
Version cases.
Oh, okay. Just give us a minute. I'm gonna see what I can do for Mr. Torres here if we can find his case. Mr. Torres, did you find a case number for me, sir?
I did, Judge. It's 2021 CT 218.
21. All right. This says it's set for non-jury pretrial 322.
Oh, yeah, it was previously continued because the client had an attorney.
Yeah, it was taken off this docket. Set for a
The same-
pretrial with me on March 22nd.
Okay.
Okay?
Does the state have an offer? Is the state there? Don't know.
They are. Is there an officer's office one, sir?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication, court cost of prosecution, counsel remains seated.
Yes, of course. Adjudication, court cost of prosecution.
Sounds good. I'll reach out to the state. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, sir. All right, let's go back and let's help you, Mr. Miller. All right, and this is case number 20MM1277. And Mr. Miller, you qualify for the deferred prosecution, the diversion program? Yes, sir.
No, Your Honor.
He doesn't? Oh, wait.
Yes, Your Honor. It's a, bail.
Oh,
He's back for arraignment based on that.
okay.
And the state's offer for the possession of marijuana charge would be a withhold adjudication, $250 fine, 6-month probation, substance abuse evaluation, court cost of prosecution.
Are you-
And an identical offer for the paraphernalia to run your
Okay. Is that something you're interested in, sir, or would you like to enter a plea of not guilty and speak with an attorney? You have an option, which would be to enter a plea to the charges. In that event, it would be an adjudication of guilt, $250 fine plus court costs and cost of prosecution and 6 months probation on each count, which is together. Or I can enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf and give you another court date, which will allow you the opportunity to think about the offer and to speak with an attorney if you would like to. What are your questions? I don't have time to answer a lot of questions, but I can answer a couple. No, sir. You complete the program, the charges get dropped. You fail out of the program, charges don't get dropped. So you have two options. You can either come up with a way to work out a plea deal, either yourself or with an attorney, or you can take your case to trial. Those are your options. Right now, for today's purposes, I either need to accept the plea, which is what the state has offered, or I need to set you for a pretrial. You want to take option number 2, which is to set it for pretrial? And so everybody understands, if you decide you want to enter into a plea to the charges today, it will happen at the end of the docket. Because pleas take about 5 minutes to do, and with as many of you as I have to do them at the end. So if you wanted to accept the state's offer, you would have to do it at the end of my docket, sir. Okay? So, thank you. So what would you like to do, sir? $250 fine plus the court costs and the cost of prosecution. You would be adjudicated guilty on both counts, and you would have 6 months of supervised probation, during which time you would have to comply with all of those terms. And there was something else, wasn't there, Mr. Redd? Substance abuse evaluation, follow recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor, the $250 fine. That was it. It was the substance abuse evaluation with the sole condition.
Okay. So, no. Oh, it was with the withhold? I thought you said adjudication.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I thought you said an adjudication. So it's a withhold of adjudication, sir, which means if you were adjudicated guilty as a result of your charges, your driver's license would be suspended if you were adjudicated guilty. With a withhold of adjudication, your license will not be suspended. However, if you are on probation and you violate your probation during the time that you're on probation, it is likely that the court would then adjudicate you guilty, which would result in a further suspension of your driving privileges. So And I can tell you right now that your probation is going to include drug testing. So you're not going to be able to do any drugs if you're on probation. And that includes marijuana and anything else. Okay. But I do need an answer from you right now, because as you can see, I have a full courtroom. What's that? You'll take so you want to take the state's offer? You want to settle your case today? Or do you want me to give you a pretrial? Are you not understanding me? What would the pretrial date be for him?
March 25th, I get 9 o'clock.
March 25th at 9. So the first option is the pretrial. The second option is the plea. Do you want to take the pretrial in March, or do you want to plea to the charges and take the state's offer? You'll take the plea? All right, then what I'm going to have you do is you're going to have to fill out some paperwork, and you're going to have to wait until I get all of these people out of here before I can take your plea. Okay? All right. Thank you. I know there is. Folks, I am not going to be able to take a lot of time with all you guys. I know you guys have questions, but I'm just not going to be able to. I have 60 of you guys. So I'm going to do my best, but if you guys have lots and lots of questions, then I would suggest that you hire an attorney to help you, because the attorney is a better person to answer questions than I am. I cannot answer legal questions for y'all. Thank you. Sir, what's your name? You're Mr. Gomez? I said Gomez. Is your name Salvador Gomez Medina? Thank you. 21 CT 231. The court will make a finding that this gentleman requires the services of the Spanish-speaking interpreter. Sir, you're here charged with no valid driver's license. Do you have the ability to get a license, sir?
I'm going through immigration now.
So are you telling me that you think you can get a driver's license, or you're not sure? Okay. So I think what the court should do with your case is enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf and set you for a pretrial. In the meantime, I would like to advise you that you do qualify for the deferred prosecution program. And this is good information for everyone who's in the courtroom, so please listen carefully. You may be offered the deferred prosecution program, which is also known as diversion. Diversion is a program that is run through the Collier County Probation Department. If you enter diversion, you'll be required to perform some tasks. I do not know what those tasks are. Those are determined by the probation department. If you successfully complete those tasks, the charges against you will be dismissed. So, Mr. Medina, you have that option, and if you would like, you could go to probation, set up an appointment with them to discuss that option. Okay, so you'll need to go to probation and make an appointment with them to sign up for it, okay? Thank you, sir. Case number is 21 CT 231. What was the control? April 12th. Hi, sir. What's your name? How do you spell your last name? Okay. There you are. 21 CT 259. And it says that you have an expired driver's license. Have you gotten it fixed?
Well, actually, my current legal status in the country is tourist. I'm on vacation here. I am no more US resident. That's why I was driving with my home country driver license.
Is it expired?
No. When police officer asked me driving license, I gave my home country driver license. And then he asked for a second identification. I gave this one.
Uh-huh.
When I got the second one, there was a third one, which belonged to the time I was a resident here, like this summer, which expired.
Okay.
I had a driving license, I forget it there, I did not possession and get crime.
I
And
see.
he served it and he asked it as well, he got three cards, and when he came back, I was already charged.
Okay. So you used to live here and now you don't. You went back to your country, you came here to visit, and you have your valid license from your home country. Could you show that to Mr. Rad, please?
Your Honor, unfortunately, I'm unable to confirm the validity of the foreign license.
Do we want to have him provide your office with a copy of it so we could
Yes.
set it for another date? And
Yes, Your Honor, I believe that would be possible.
how long are you here, sir?
It had been less than 6 months,
When are you going back? That's my question.
March 15th.
What date could we give him? Could we give him a date before March 15th? So
I can give him March 8th.
let's do that. We're going to give you March 8th, which is coming up pretty quick. So what I need you to do, should I have him, Mr. Rab, go to the 6th floor and ask them to make a copy so that could be provided to you to look at?
Yes, Your Honor, and if you provide copies of all three licenses, that forms by application provided. I imagine that the reason for the citation is because he is in possession of a state-issued expired Florida license. That is a mistake, but I will allow the prosecutor to make that.
Okay. All right. So that's what's going to happen. If you could please provide that information. It's on the 6th floor. Let them copy everything, and that way Mr. Rab can take a look at it and see what they'd like to do for you. But we want to try to get you done before you go back. Okay? All right. Thank you. We'll see you March 6th. Okay. Hi, good morning, sir. What's your name? Wilson? I think I just saw you. First, what did I just do? I just got, oh, there we are. Raymond? 20 CT 2553. Let me just see what we got here. And you're here for driving with a suspended license. Are you able to get your license fixed, sir? No? Mr. Rab, what is the offer for this gentleman to resolve his case?
Yes, Your Honor, this is a third or subsequent offense. The state's offers him to go 15 days jail for false document and false prosecution.
Okay. Would you like to accept that offer, or would you like some time to speak with an attorney? All right, so what we'll do today is we'll enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. This will go to a pretrial. As I said in the beginning, you have the opportunity, if you'd like, to apply for the services of the public defender, or you could also hire your own attorney, and of course you can represent yourself. Okay? What date would he have?
Judge, you have a pretrial on the 31st of March, and you also have one on April 22nd. So which one you want me to do?
31st.
The 31st?
Yeah. So it'll be March 31st, sir. Thank you. We'll see you then. Okay. Good morning, sir. What's your name? All right, Mr. Arias, this is 21 CT 219. Driving with an expired driver's license. Have you gotten it fixed, sir? Are you able to get it fixed? Mr. Rab, what's the offer to resolve this gentleman's case?
Your Honor, the state's offers him communication guilt, $300 fine, 3-month driver's license suspension. Court costs, and false prosecution.
That's what the offer is if you want to resolve it today. Otherwise, what I can do is I can set you for a pretrial on March the 31st.
instrucciones que están dando hoy. No, esto puedo delegar para
March 31st, yes. And enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. That'll allow you to talk to a lawyer if you'd like.
para que puedan hablar con un abogado, mientras tanto, le hacen la declaración del culpable hoy para que se pueda ver si
So what would you like to do, sir? Okay. I usually ask them if they need more time, but maybe we just do a blanket 60, considering we're gonna have, we might have a group of them. And that seems probably reasonable, right? Okay, so sir, what would you like to do this morning? Another court date? All right, so we'll enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf, set you for March the 31st. Oh, I was going to my non-jury, right? Okay, March 22nd. Also, the court will make a finding that this gentleman requires the services of a Spanish-speaking interpreter. Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you. Hi, good morning. What's your name? How do you spell the last name, please? What's the first letter? What is it? Oh, Via. Got it. 21 CT 225. Court will make a finding that she requires the services of a Spanish-speaking interpreter. So, ma'am, you're charged with no valid driver's license. Do you think you can get one? Mr. Rabb, what's the offer to resolve Ms. Villa's case? So, ma'am, would you like to accept that offer, or would you like me to give you another court date? Okay, then if you would like to enter a plea today, I will need to have you wait so that your plea can be done. You'll have to fill out some paperwork, and I'll take it with also Mr. Miller, who said he wanted to enter a plea, but I have to get everyone else out of here first.
What is the other option then?
The other option would be for me to give you a plea date. Since you said you want to enter a plea, that plea date would be March the 23rd at 2:30. Do you want to come back on the 23rd? All right, we're going to set you for a plea March 23rd at 2:30. See you then. Thank you. 23 on 2:30? I have 23 pleas on March 23rd at 2:30?
Well, it's combined together.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Then I'm going to set my next pleas at 3:30. Because that's full. No, she's going to be at 2:30, but I'm going to start with 3:30. If I'm setting anybody else on that date, it's going to be 3:30. Hi, sir. What's your name, please? Florencia with an F? I don't see anyone. X with an X? Oh, there he is. Okay, thank you. 21 CT 224. All right, sir, you are also charged with no valid driver's license. Do you think you can get one? You think you can get a license?
I don't know, what do you mean, what did you say?
You are currently charged with having no valid driver's license.
No, I don't have one.
My question to you is, do you think you are able to get one?
Yes, but I don't know how.
Well, you'll need to go to the Department of Motor Vehicles.
Necesita ir al departamento de vehículos y motores.
Yes, would you ask him if he doesn't speak Spanish?
Señor, usted habla alemán, español, usted habla una lengua. ¿Cuál es? Sí.
He does not speak Spanish.
Más español, o igual, más chico español. Hablas más quichú que español. Yeah, he speaks more quichú than Spanish.
How do you spell that? Because we need to make a finding that he requires that interpreter.
I think it's UIIC, I'm not sure.
Because we're going to need to make a finding that he requires that interpreter, which we're going to need to use language line for. For the purpose of today, we're going to set him for a pretrial, put a plea of not guilty on his behalf. I can't explain to him adequately his options. I wish I could, but I can't. We need somebody who can help him.
¿Usted entiende bien el español?
No, we're setting him for a pretrial.
No, por eso que ella no quiere la fuerza, no se siente confiada en hacerlo hoy y vamos a ponerlo para otra fecha con un intérprete de chichi.
You got it, Lisa? That way we'll know when the pretrial comes around that we're going to need to make sure that we can get somebody over the phone that he can understand 100%, a little bit or a little bit more or less. That doesn't satisfy me that he understands, and he needs to be able to understand. Okay, thank you.
Necesita una persona que hable su idioma bien, que usted lo entienda bien para que sepa lo que está pasando. ¿Me entiende? Por eso le vamos a dar otra fecha.
Oh, I'm sorry, I think I put it for, March 29th.
Marzo 29.
Yes.
Pase para allá.
Thank you. Hi, good morning, ma'am. What's your name? What's your last name? How do you spell it? Thank you. I'm sorry, it's so hard to hear up here with these masks, but we do the best we can, right? Between both of us, probably it's hard to hear me and it's hard to hear you. All right, Miss Herring, it's 20 CT 2112. Let's see what we have this morning. You have a suspended driver's license. Are you able to get your license fixed?
I'm currently getting it now. I have coronavirus and I'm canceling all off next week so that I can set up an appointment to do the driver test.
Great. Well, so why don't we do this? Why don't we enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf, set you for a pretrial with Judge Crown. My guess would be that if you have a driver's license, your disposition would be much better than if you didn't. So we're going to give you some time to try to get that done. Come back with the driver's license, and then we can talk about a disposition then, okay? What would that date be, Lisa? March 25th. Hopefully that's good enough time for you to get it, okay? Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Juan Saavedra, S-W-A-V-I-C-T-O-P-D-R-A.
There we go, I have you. 21 CT 238. All right, Mr. Saavedra, you have a expired driver's license. Are you able to get that reinstated?
Yeah, good.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You do. I don't know that you do, because I just asked you, do you think you can get a driver's license, and you said guilty? Eduardo, can you help me, please? I'm going to make a finding that he requires the services of the Spanish-speaking interpreter. I think it'll help, because I don't think you understood my question, or if you did, you didn't answer it. Yes.
I don't need an interpreter to say that I'm guilty, huh?
But he needs an interpreter to understand my question, so I'm going to ask him this question. Do you think you can get a driver's license? You're charged with having an expired license. Do you think you can get your license reinstated?
I can.
Yes.
The state has not made a filing decision yet on this matter. The state has requested this be rolled 2 weeks for the arraignment, which will allow the prosecutor to make a filing decision. Perhaps at that time,
So, sir, the state attorney has not made a decision whether to file formal charges yet. Lots of times when a person is able to get their license and comes back with a valid driver's license, the charges will be dismissed. That's a much better disposition than you pleading guilty. If you plead guilty, you're going to be responsible for lots of money in court costs. So spending the next 2 weeks trying to get your driver's license might result in a better result than you would get today. Okay, that makes sense? Yes? His name is Juan Francisco Saavedra Montero. 21 CT 238. What court date can we give him? March 4th, come back here at 8:30 again. And bring a valid driver's license. 21 CT 238. Thank you, sir. You too. Good morning. What's your name, sir? What's your name? Mr. Cortez. 21 CT 252. Mr. Cortez, let's see what we have. Also, the court will make a finding he requires a Spanish-speaking interpreter. Sir, you are charged with having no valid driver's license. Do you think you can get a valid driver's license? Great, let's see it. Folks, if you're charged with having no valid driver's license and you have a valid driver's license, you've gotten it reinstated, you need to let the court know.
The state is showing a valid Class C driver's license. The state announces the no cross is 21 CT 252.
So, Mr. Cortez, your case is dismissed. You're free to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. What's your name? Is it Hernandez or Fernandez?
Hernandez.
Yohan?
Joan? Nahum.
Nahum, there we go. Sorry, 21 CT 262. Court will make a finding this gentleman requires a Spanish-speaking interpreter. Sir, you are charged with no valid driver's license. Can you get a valid driver's license?
Okay. I don't know if you apply for it, I don't know anything that you can apply for it.
Well, the Department of Motor Vehicles would determine whether you can get a driver's license. Would you like an opportunity to look into it to see if you can get one?
Me gustaría el departamento de vehículos motores, a ver si te puedes solicitar una licencia de conducir, y solo para los aquí. Yes, sir.
At this time, the court will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf and set you for a pretrial.
Harán una declaración de no culpable, su nombre, y luego obtendremos su caso a la segunda parte. Como allá.
That will allow you to investigate options as to whether you can actually get a driver's license.
Es una oportunidad que tiene para que usted pueda investigar si puede obtener una licencia.
If you are not able to get a driver's license, there will be a proposed resolution for you when you come back. Yes. What court date can we give him? Let's give him April. What would be the proposed resolution for this gentleman? Case number is 21 CT 262. This is Nahum Hernandez Mota. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor, 6 current plea offers and adjudication of guilt. A $150 fine. Court costs. And the cost of prosecution.
So, sir, what would you like to do? Would you like me to give you another court date to see if you can get a driver's license, or do you want to enter a plea?
So if I take the action now, will I have to come back to court?
Yes, you will. I need an answer, sir. Not only do I have a whole ton of people in this courtroom, but I got a whole bunch of people outside waiting, so. If you need time to think about it, I'll give you that time, but it can't be while you're standing there. Then you have to wait for everybody else to come through, and then I'll take your plea at the end of the docket. Or I can give you another court date to come back and enter a plea, but the only way I can do it this morning is to get everybody out of here first. You want to enter a plea today, sir?
Okay, let me see if I can get my driver's license.
Great. Then we will schedule you for a new court date. And when would that be again, Lisa? I don't remember. April something.
Yeah, I think it would be April.
Oh, I don't remember either. As soon as he told me he wanted to enter a plea, it went
I know.
April 19th. We'll see you back here. Come back with the driver's license. Trust me, you'll have a better deal.
And we need to do time, right?
Yes. It'll be a better resolution for you. It'll cost you less money. And if you have a driver's license, you won't get in trouble. Because you drive without a driver's license, you're getting in a lot more trouble. It's just going to keep escalating. You need to get a license. Good?
¿Está bien?
All right, thank you.
Gracias.
All right. Good morning, sir. What is your name?
Mi nombre es Joan Hernández.
Okay, Mr. Hernandez, you are 21 CT 261. Court will make a finding. This gentleman requires a Spanish-speaking interpreter. You are charged with driving with a suspended driver's license. Are you able to get your license reinstated?
I'm pleading not guilty.
So, sir, what we will do is we'll enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf, set you for a pretrial with Judge Adams.
No, el acta de, delante del juez Adams.
As I've said to individuals before you, if you can get a driver's license, it would be in your best interest because it might make your offer much better than it would be today, or when you come back without a license. What would his court date be? April 10th. We'll see you then. Thank you.
A mí me gustan por estar pescando y entonces
Yeah, I was just fine for fishing and, you know.
This doesn't have to do with fishing. This has to do with having a suspended driver's license.
Eso no tiene nada que ver con una licencia suspendida.
sí,
Yeah, my driver was suspended. But I was not driving.
That's something you're gonna have to take up with Judge
Y
Adams.
eso lo tiene que ver delante del juez Adams.
All right? Thank you. Hi, good morning, sir. What's your name?
Buenos días, señor. ¿Su nombre?
Mi nombre es Jorge Orlando Martínez.
Martínez.
I don't see a Jorge Orlando Martinez. Do you have paperwork with you, sir?
Tengo la foto en el teléfono, ahí se me perdió. Pero es el día de la corte y ¿sabe? La fecha lo dice.
I lost the document, but I have it on my phone.
That'd be great. You can tell us what your case number is, please. Also, the court will make a finding that he requires a Spanish-speaking interpreter. So we need your case number. What's your case number?
I don't know. Can you tell me which number it is?
How do you spell his last name?
He said his last name is Martinez, first name Orlando.
Martínez, that's an S? Yeah.
Do you see a case number, Joe? We will figure this out.
2019-2961.
2019. It's 2019. Is it a TR? Is it an MM? CT? What was the last one? 2961. I bet it's a VLP.
No, Garcia Lopez? That's no.
It's Jorge Orlando Martinez.
Oh, there we go.
Hernandez.
All right.
Orlando Martinez Hernandez.
Tag not assigned. Was set with Judge Adams. Arraignment. I found him. 19 CT 2961. He's got an attorney. You have Ted Hollander. No, he's not on today's docket.
Ese abogado, yo le pagué, ¿verdad? Y él me dijo que me iba a mandar un código para hablar por Zoom con el, ¿sabe? Con el juez. Y no me mandó el código, entonces no pude ir a la corte. Y me pusieron orden de arresto, porque vivo en
Attorney Ted Hollander represents him. He's set to appear by Zoom with Judge Blake Adams on April the 5th, 2021. You hired an attorney, so your case was taken off this docket and put on another docket. You need to call Mr. Hollander, who you've hired to represent you. No. He's not supposed to be here. I got a bunch of people in the hall. You're welcome, sir. Have a good day yourself. Hi, good morning. What's your name? How do you spell your last name? Santiago? Okay, I gotcha. 21 CT 193. We'll make a finding that Miss Santiago, you need the interpreter? Court will make a finding that she requires a Spanish-speaking interpreter. Ms. Santiago, you are charged with having no valid driver's license. Do you think you can get a driver's license? So do you think you can get a driver's license, or are you saying your immigration issues are preventing you from getting a license? All right. We're going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf, set you for a pretrial. Your pretrial will be with me. This is going to go on my, was it the 22nd date? March 22nd. In the meantime, I would suggest to you that you see if you can get a driver's license by communicating with the Department of Motor Vehicles. You also do qualify for a diversion, which means that's the program I talked about that goes through probation. You can go down to probation and ask them about it and see if it's something you would like to try. You're gonna what? Okay, so go to probation and they'll get you signed up, okay? What's your, oh, your next court date's March 22nd. All right. You won't have to come back if you complete diversion. If you don't complete diversion, you will. All right, great. You get it done, we'll have the charges dismissed, okay? All right, thank you. Thank you. Hi, good morning, sir. What's your name? Come on up. All right, Mr. Garcia. I have a Garcia Lopez Domenico. Is that not it? Or Dioncio? I don't understand. Does he have paperwork?
Your Honor,
I only have one Garcia on my docket.
it may be 21 CT 176.
How do you, what's the last name? I've got everything by last name. Geronimo?
Yeah.
Are you Eden Geronimo?
Yes.
21 CT 176. A gentleman requires a Spanish-speaking interpreter. Okay. Sir, you are also charged with no valid driver's license. Do you think you can get one?
I would say yes, because I am in the process, going through the process of immigration, so.
Okay, so what the court's going to do is enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. We'll set you for pretrial. It'll be with me on March the 22nd. In the meantime, try to get that license. You also qualify for diversion, which is the program through probation, if you'd like to investigate that.
Yes, because I was told that once I have immigration documents, I will be able to get my driver's license.
Okay. I'm just providing him with the option. The option would be to do diversion. The court will give you a reasonable time to try and get your driver's license.
te dará tiempo para que pueda obtener la licencia de conducir.
But if you tell me it's going to take you 6 months or a year, we're not going to wait that long.
Pero si tienes 6 meses o 1 año, no vamos a esperar tanto.
But maybe it'll take you quicker and we'll work with you.
Rápido,
We just need to have, you do it pretty quickly, okay?
estamos cuidando.
Also, Mr. Geronimo, the court is showing that your mail is being returned because we have a bad address. The address we have is 5811 14th Street West.
Esta es la dirección de se copió porque no tenía la dirección correcta. La dirección que tenemos 581.
Is there an apartment number?
Es un apartamento, es un número de calle, ¿cuál es su dirección exacta? 11, 14, PH, Lote 76, Lot 78, it's a trailer.
Is the address 5811 14th Street West?
La calle 14 Oeste 581, esa es la dirección suya. Yes, that's simple that I got here.
So it is 5811 14th Street West. We just need to add the lot number. And what is that lot number?
El número de lote, ¿cuál es? Añadirle la 58. El número de lote, acabo de decir.
What lot number, sir?
El número de lote, señor, 78.
Well, so we'll add lot 78 and hopefully we'll be able to get your mail to you, okay?
Vamos a añadir 78 lote y este suficiente para que llegue la dirección.
All right, thank you.
Gracias, ya terminó.
Hi, good morning, sir. What is your name?
Su nombre.
Mr. Diego Lopez. All right. I don't see a Diego Lopez. Maybe it's under. Oh, Diego Lucas. Thank you. 21 CT 311. Court will make a finding. He requires a Spanish-speaking interpreter.
Yes, I do.
Mr. Diego Lucas. Mr. Lucas, you're here with having no driver's license and also tag not assigned. Do you think you can get a driver's license and fix your tag? Yes? All right, the court is going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf and set you for a pretrial. It'll be with Judge Provost. I'll also advise you that you also qualify for the deferred prosecution program, which is also known as diversion, if you wanted to try that. Okay. All right, we'll see you next day. April 19th, sir. 21 CT 311. Hi, good morning. What's your name? All right. All right, Ms. Perez Lopez. There she is. 21 CT 304. Court will make a finding. She requires a Spanish-speaking interpreter. You are also here, ma'am, charged with no valid driver's license. Do you think? Her name's Maria, and last name is Lopez, 21 CT 304. Ma'am, do you think that you can get a driver's license? All right, so what the court will do in your case is the court will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf, set you for a pretrial with Judge Provost. That will allow you some time to investigate whether you can get a license. All right, if you can get a license, please bring it with you when you come to court next time, okay? If you cannot get a license, there will be an alternate disposition for you on that date. You're gonna need to go to the
I don't
department.
even have an idea how to do that.
You're gonna need to go to the Department of Motor Vehicles. Folks, anybody who's here without a valid driver's license, the state of Florida Department of Motor Vehicles is the one that determines whether you can get a license.
No tiene licencia como si lo están aquí en el departamento, y tú, en tu flor, y todo también.
They're gonna require you to take a driving test and understand the rules of the road in order to get a driver's license.
Van a tomar pruebas y eso, le hacen una prueba de camino, en la calle, en la carretera, para ver si usted.
I don't know the requirements from the Department of Motor Vehicles, but I do know that they have requirements that would have to be met in order to get a license.
Si no hacer los requerimientos, pues eso no lo vamos a.
So I will allow you the time to go talk to them and see if you can get one. And if you can, that would be great.
Después yo le tengo para cagar, si puedo tomar la licencia, pues. I don't know, because I don't know how much money I have to spend to get a driver's license. I need an attorney for this.
I'm giving you an opportunity to speak with an attorney if you would like. If you cannot afford one, you can make an application when you leave here to see if you qualify for the public defender.
Escuche primero. Give you time to hire an attorney, you cannot afford one. Why for public?
Yes, you can apply. Okay, and that's what we're doing for today's purposes. We're continuing this to a pretrial. We have a lot of people still left in the hall.
Yes, Judge.
As soon as we clear these two out, will you just give me a minute? Because I just need a minute to stand and take a deep breath. Thank you. We'll see you at your next court date.
Judge, do you want them to wait?
I just want you to give me 1 minute after we clear these people out so I can just take a stand break. And also maybe, even though my watch hasn't told me to breathe. Hi, what's your name? Mr. Mendez, all right. Court will make the finding that Mr. Mendez needs the services of a Spanish-speaking interpreter. Mendez, I don't see Mendez. Is there another last name? How do you spell it? Gosh, I don't see him.
It's case number 20CT2563.
20CT2563. 563. Just not showing up on my dashboard. It's under Amador. It is on my docket. Wait, 20CT256. Oh no, that's wrong. That's 2019. 20CT2563. All right. Why don't I not have him on here? But that's all right. We can find you. Got him. How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 17 years old.
Ma'am, your son needs an attorney. The charges against him are very serious, carry very serious penalties. I would suggest that if you cannot afford an attorney, that you make an application for the services of the public defender. A DUI charge for a juvenile is very serious, has serious consequences. He's also charged with having no driver's license. Not as serious of a charge, but also carries with it some significant penalties. So I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf, set him for a pretrial with Judge Brown. April the 8th. I would also suggest that if your son is drinking, ma'am, that you get him some help. He's too young. All right, we'll see you in April. All right, give me 1 minute. I just need to stand up for a minute. Yeah, don't we just all just need like just a minute to just. It's not your fault. I didn't even think about, they asked me, they say, what time are you gonna take the bench? And I say 8:30. And I realize that some of the other judges take the bench at 9. So when there's an 8:30 docket like this, particularly a big one, I just come in on time. I should have. Well, you just ask me next time. No harm, no foul.
Yeah, come here. I'll show you. I thought you knew where to go.
All right, court's taking a break for all the people, all the 3 billion followers that I have. Now that I'm a YouTube sensation.
Yeah, 22. And every one of them is a translation.
Can't we put a few in the gallery right there? Let's get them all done.
I don't want them yelling at me, Judge. for
Will they yell at you?
self-assistance, Yeah.
Will they really?
Yeah.
Hey, they can't sit there?
Right up here.
All right, well, let's just do 18 and then we'll bring in the other 4. Oh, we need our interpreter too.
We'll do that. Slide down. Find a yellow sticker and have a seat. There. Well, they sure they have it. Oh, it's on there, so, okay. Somebody can sit right there.
I should have set Mr. Miller for this afternoon. I forgot I have pleas this afternoon. I could have taken the lady this afternoon too. Yeah, we only have a few, but it would have made more sense if they come back this afternoon. I just blanked it.
We do it at the end.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, they can.
I know. I'm just getting at the end of my own rope. Let's put it that way. I know we can. It's not a question of can, it's a question of want. We only have one so far, so that's good.
See if they work. How many more are left? Okay, so we just got 4. Bring them in. Bring Tom, give me the 4. Let's clear the hallway so we don't get the sergeants in here again.
Did they already come in?
Where do you want? Yeah, right there.
Really? Were they giving you a dirty look? Or you? They gave you the dirty look?
Maybe.
Really? Well, that's why you got to stand with your back to the door so you can't see the dirty look.
I think.
So you guys are our official jurors. This is where we normally have jurors sit, but we just have only a little bit limited amount of room. So now you get to feel what it's like to sit in a jury box.
Now we just gotta get Eduardo.
We just need Eduardo. All right, I'm gonna bring you up. And good morning, everyone. My name is Judge Nicola. I usually make an announcement, but I don't have my interpreter here. So When he gets here, I'll explain to the Spanish-speaking individuals what we're doing today. This is an opportunity for you to plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest. Some of you may have a plea offer today. If you want to take the plea offer, it'll go at the end of the docket. Some of you may not, and there's a lot of different reasons why there may not be an offer. If you enter a plea of not guilty today, what we'll do is we'll set you for a pretrial. That will allow you the opportunity to talk to a lawyer if you want. Also to consider options which may be available to you by way of a plea. So sir, what is your name today? How do you spell your last name? Okay, gotcha. 21 CT 195. And Mr. Laundere, let's see what we've got here. Charged with driving while license suspended, canceled, or revoked. Are you able to get your license reinstated, sir?
Yes, ma'am. I'm in the process of moving here to get my license.
How long do you think you'll need?
I'm not sure how that works. At least 3 months, I'd say. I don't know how long it takes. I mean, to get the license, I guess I can go get it right away, but I have to be a resident. I don't know how it works. I was trying to read up on it.
I think that when you move into the state of Florida, I think you need to get your driver's license within 30 days. That's my understanding. So I don't think residency is a requirement, but I'll leave it to you to talk with the Department of Motor Vehicles. What I can do is I can enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf and set you for a pretrial with Judge Crown. That allow you the opportunity to investigate what you need to do to get the license and come back with the license. I'm sure there will be a better disposition for you, okay? Yes, of course. We'll set you on his April docket.
I have the March 29th.
Oh, that works, 29th. Because I know that some of us had earlier dates than that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good morning. Hi, what's your name? What's your last name? Start with what letter? J, there you are, thank you. 21MM243. And ma'am, you are charged with criminal mischief. Is there an offer to resolve her case yet, Mr. Rabb?
Yes, Your Honor. Here's that does qualify for diversion.
Okay.
There would be special conditions attached to that diversion, which would be a contract, which is interested. Alternatively, if she would like to resolve it, adjudication of guilt, 6 months probation, restitution to the victim, 200 looks like in the amount of $250 for cost of prosecution.
Okay. And I didn't announce to everybody what the diversion is. Some of you may be, and you're being offered diversion. Diversion is a program that is run through the county probation here in Naples. They will require you to do some tasks, but if you complete the tasks, the charges would be dismissed, completely dismissed. In other words, the case would be gone. The other option is, which is being offered to you, would be that if you wanted to enter into a plea today, it would be an adjudication of guilt, 6 months probation, you'd have to pay restitution. There would be a $250 fine plus court costs and costs of prosecution, so you would be adjudicated. Would you like the opportunity to at least investigate the diversion program? Okay, so what I'll do is I'll enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. We'll set you for a pretrial. Your judge is Judge Brown. April the 8th will be your pretrial. In the event that you complete diversion, you'll never have to come back though. So you just need to go to probation and set up an appointment to look over the contract and complete the tasks, okay? All right, thank you. Good luck to you. All right. Hi, good morning, sir. What's your name?
My name is John Ritter.
How do you spell your last name?
N-O-R-E-L-A.
M-O... I don't see you. Let me just find you.
Yeah.
Oh, N is in Nancy. I thought you said boy, I'm telling you, I get my ears cleaned out. Norelia? Is that, yes, you're in the right room. Every once in a while people aren't. 20MM 2126. All right, let's see what we got. And sir, sure.
I got, some circular at 7-Eleven contact, I spoke to them, which I didn't really, I don't have any right or anything like that.
Okay.
I did not do that. They arrested me for disorderly conduct because I was upset and arguing with the cops about that whole incident.
Okay.
When they went here to the cameras, they all just saw it wasn't me. So I think the circular got mistaken my identity. I do plan on suing them, and I'm just wondering if
Well, so if you have a defense to it, what we do today is enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf, okay? And then you would be set for a pretrial conference. You have the right to have a trial. We just don't do that today. So the stages of the proceeding are we have our arraignment, which is the purpose of entering the plea. Then we have you set for a pretrial, which is to see where we're at with the case, see if the case is in a posture to go to trial. And then there's trial dates. Presently, we have very limited trial dates because of COVID, but we're starting to get there again. We are getting there, finally. I don't know when it would be, but that also allows you the opportunity to speak with a lawyer if you wanted to see if the lawyer could investigate. You have done that? Yeah, so, and that lawyer might be able to help you to kind of wade through all of this and figure out if you can't get the charges dismissed because it's a case of mistaken identity, but that's something for another date. So for today's purposes, we'll enter a plea of not guilty, set you for a pretrial. What was your question? Are you asking what your sentence would be if you entered a plea today?
No, I'm asking if I have, what's that thing called?
Diversion. I don't see a diversion offer. Does he qualify for diversion?
The state's criminal resolved today, saying that the defendant is taking offense. To count one breach of case will be a no cross in exchange for a plea count two, which is existing. The state's offering that charge is a imputation to fine or false custody.
What does that mean?
That means that you would have to enter a plea to the charge in order to resolve your case.
So I have to say I was with the resisting?
With the resisting, yeah.
The resisting, I didn't want to get shot with. So I didn't put my hand up for that.
I mean, I can't tell you what to do. I think you should talk to a lawyer, but if you're saying this wasn't me and I didn't do it.
Well, can I come case and come back and resolve it? Like, sue somebody?
You can't sue somebody in criminal court. We're in criminal court. Criminal court is for the purpose of resolving criminal charges. You want to enter a plea to the resisting? You have to pay a $250 fine plus court costs, cost of prosecution, and it was a withhold, right?
It was a withhold, Your Honor.
Okay.
How much is that with
Something like $500, maybe more, because the court costs, the cost of prosecution are $50. What are the court costs? $575, $575?
Something like that.
I'm close. I'm trying to do math in my head, and I tell you, I've never been good at it. Absolutely. That's why we said we would enter a plea of not guilty, set you for a pretrial. The option to plea to it will be available to you then. Yeah, you'll still have the option. Yeah. No, we want you to have the ability to speak with an attorney, and folks, I don't punish people because they want to talk to a lawyer. And I also don't punish people because they want to have a right to a trial, because that's a right that's afforded to you. Absolutely. Well, you know what, if it was me and I said I didn't do anything, I would certainly want to talk to a lawyer, which I think you are already on the right path. All right, thank you. Hi, good morning, sir. What's your name? Mr. Benjamin. All right, Mr. Benjamin. This is case number 21, CT279. And let's see what we've got, Mr. Benjamin, so I can pull it up. It is a tag not assigned. Have you gotten your tag fixed? Great. Can you show it to the state attorney? Do you have it?
No, I left the phone back and bring it here today.
Actually, I'm showing a notice of null pros. Was this case dismissed?
I don't have it.
This is 21 CT 279, 21821. I see notice of null pros.
Yes, Your Honor, this was my process.
Case has already been dismissed. It looks like it must have been done this morning, 8:24. But so the good news is it's dismissed. You're done. Yep. Thank you. Hi, good morning, sir. What's your name? Mr. Martinez. All right, let me find you. There you are. And this is 21 CT 322. Martinez, yes, Christopher. Charged with driving while license suspended, canceled, or revoked. Oh, yes, two? And there's also 21 MM 98. And that one is resisting without violence. And are they both assigned to the same judge?
No. I need to
Probably reassign Judge Provost's case to Judge Crown. All right, sir. With those two charges, What would you like to do? Would you like to see what the state's offer is to resolve it, or would you like to have the court?
Yeah, I'm trying to get lawyers for this.
Okay, so what the court will do is enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf, set you for a pretrial. That'll give you the opportunity to talk to a lawyer, and then the lawyer, of course, can talk with Mr. Rabb and find out what options are available, okay? You go to the clerk's office and they'll give you paperwork to fill out, okay? All right, thank you. Oh, they're both, did I have the wrong, I had it backwards? Okay, all right. Oh, you're right. I was looking at them and I was mistaken.
I don't think the state has filed on the resistance, so I think they have to go back to arraignment.
Okay. You haven't filed on the resisting yet, Mr. Rabb?
We have not, we can have the secretary on the pretrial docket, he can be arraigned at the pretrial docket.
That's fine. That works. It sounds like he's going to get an attorney, so the attorney will probably file a written plea of not guilty on his behalf anyway. One thing I know about Lisa is she can handle anything. Just let me know when you're ready, Lisa. You know what? While you're working on that, Lisa, I'm going to make an announcement. Everybody here who speaks Spanish? Just about everybody left. We are here today because you have been charged with a crime. This is an opportunity for you to enter a plea of guilty, not guilty, or no contest. If you decide that you do want to enter a no contest or a guilty plea, I will either hear it at the end of this docket, or will give you another court date. We may not be able to resolve some of your cases today by way of a plea of guilty or no contest. For many different reasons. The state attorney may not have decided whether to file charges yet or not. They may not have an offer yet to resolve your case. And there may be a victim involved, and in that event, the victim needs to participate in any plea negotiations. Some of you may also want the opportunity to speak with a lawyer. If you cannot afford a lawyer, you can make an application for the services of the public defender. If you would like to do that, the court will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. And that will give you an opportunity to discuss your case with the attorney. You can also, of course, hire a private attorney, and you can represent yourself. Some of you will also be offered the opportunity to enter into a deferred prosecution agreement. This is what's known as diversion. Diversion is offered through the Collier County Probation Department. They will assign some tasks to you to complete. And if you complete those tasks, not only will you not have to come back to court, but your charges will be dismissed. All right, we're ready to proceed. Thank you. And this gentleman's name is? Francisco what? Gaspar. Francisco Gaspar. I see a Leonardo Gaspar. What was the last name? R-O-E-I-S. R-O-D-A-S. 21 CT 196. Court will make a finding that he requires the services of the Spanish-speaking interpreter. Wait, don't I make the finding for this case? This gentleman's a juvenile? He's a juvenile? How old are you? Do you have the ability to get a driver's license? So what the court's going to do at this time, I will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Set you for a pretrial on March 22nd, which is me. Come back with a driver's license. You'll have a much better disposition than you would if you entered a plea today. He does also qualify for the deferred prosecution program. Okay? Pardon me? What is what for? You don't have to show anything today. You had to show up today because you were cited with having no valid driver's license. On January 22nd, you were issued a citation AEBPRSE, and it says that on Wednesday, the 30th of December 2020 at 8:08 a.m., that you were ticketed for driving with no valid driver's license, which is a criminal citation, a second-degree misdemeanor. What is that? Right? Let's see it. Folks, if any of you are charged with having no driver's license, and you do in fact have a driver's license, you've gotten one, please let me know that right away, because that'll save us a whole lot of time. Okay?
The state is showing a valid driver's license for Mr. Gaspar. The state announces all prosecution 21 CT.
All right, your case is dismissed. Thank you. Thank you. Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna call my judicial assistant. I may need my phone a friend. I have a full courtroom full of people and most of them don't speak any English, and I have an 11 o'clock infraction docket. Is there anyone around that can cover it for me? I need my 11 o'clock covered. There is no way that I'm going to be done with this docket by 11 o'clock. It's not going to happen. I can already tell. It's just, does this Blake have a docket today? Let me look. All right, thank you. I have a spreadsheet on my computer that he can have. It just needs to be printed. Thank you. Okay, bye. Yeah, there's no way we're going to be done by 11. It's just not going to happen. I know it. 1 minute. Oh, he's got a 9 o'clock. Oh. I think he might be able to cover it for me. We just need a clerk, right? And it's a big infraction docket. That's why it's not going to be difficult, but it's just there's no way. I need help. Let her know I'm trying to find Judge Adams. Okay.
Well, she already called Jennifer and said she's not gonna be able to do it. So that's why you got to take that now.
It's just, there's no way I'll be done by 11.
All right. Okay. All right.
Are they okay with it? Well, I mean, I keep getting these memos from the other judges saying you can't do this, but what am I supposed to do when I have a whole courtroom full of people? Now I'm gonna have the Naples Police Department sitting there waiting for me at 11 o'clock with 12 infractions, and then they're all ticked at me, so I gotta make a judgment call at 10:10 when I know we're not gonna be done at 11, so. It's the way it is. I don't have control over it, so praying that Judge Adams will get on board and help me. I think he will. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go back to my docket and let's start with you, sir. What's your name? How do you spell your last name?
L-U-D-O.
L-U-D-O. Oh, L-U-G-O, I'm sorry. Ephraim Xavier Lugo Matos? 21 MM177. All right, sir, let's see what we got. Failure to notify change of interest in vessel and operate vessel without a title. So this is a boating thing where maybe you bought a boat and you didn't change the title? About close?
I have a kayak, so I gotta have a motor, things like that, so you know, just
So a motorized kayak, I've never seen one of those. I thought the idea of having a kayak was not to have the motor, but I'm intrigued by it. So my question to you is, have you gotten it fixed, your change of interest and your title? Because you look like you're holding something there. Fantastic. Can you show that to Mr. Reb? Motorized kayak. I saw a motorized bike the other day and I thought the same thing. You get the bicycle, you ride the bicycle, but maybe you get too tired to pedal anymore. Like you get tired of kayaking and then you just turn on the motor, huh? Actually, I find that pretty cool, actually. Sure. Have you seen a title for a kayak before, Mr. Rab?
Yeah, this is
I guess by law it's a boat. Well, I learned something new today. I guess anything that has a motor on it that you put on the water would be considered a boat. Under 16 feet. Oh. Well, kayak isn't 16 feet. What is it? Maybe 10 feet? 12?
Your Honor, it's in accidental crossing case 21 MM177.
Fantastic. Your case is dismissed.
Did you get a ticket for the life jacket, or whether the life jacket, or which one?
On a kayak or a kayak that has a motor?
The kayak, same kayak.
I didn't know that either. On a motorized kayak or a regular kayak?
Motorized kayak.
Motorized kayak. Well, I appreciate you telling me that because I just didn't know that. Did you get one of those too? You have a ticket for not wearing a life jacket? What's that case number? See if we can.
Oh.
Did I miss one?
Yeah, 3.
Oh, I thought.
Wait, 1, 2, he has 4. No, he got 5. Infraction? Yeah, he got 5 over there.
Okay, hold on one second.
And they're all due like really soon.
All right, let's take a look at it. Let's see. Let's look at his, I just need to get back into my dashboard. Do you have case numbers for that, Lisa? For the infractions?
One is
They gotta be, they wouldn't be TR, would they?
No, they're IN,
Yeah,
it's 64, 65, 66, 67, 63.
20 IN, 21 IN, 63, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
4, 5, 6, 7, George, that's what I see.
All right, 20 IN, 63. All right, let's see here. This looks like you already, oh no. Judge Adams can't cover for me at 11.
I don't know.
I know, we're gonna have to find somebody. And your last name was, what was your last name again? I'm sorry, sir.
Lugo.
Oh, Lugo. 20 IN 63 is not Mr. Lugo. 20, oh no, it's 21 IN, right?
Yeah.
21? 21 IN 63, there you are. All right, Mr. Lugo. 55th vessel safety regulation. So what was that for? Do you know? Let's look at the citation. You're in the Fakahatchee Strand. Insufficient number. Not carried. This says that you didn't have a sufficient, your vessel wasn't properly identified, is that right? Oh, that's the registration, and you've gotten it registered? And you saw it? All right. Dismissing case number 20 IN 63. Let's look at 64. Might be able to make your life easy today, sir. If you've taken care of everything, then we can take care of it for you. Right, Lisa? Can we take care of it?
Yeah, so we take care of it.
Okay, that works. That works.
The other criminal citation, Your Honor, was transferring a vessel without properly transferring title. The defendant has also provided proper title to the vessel.
Wonderful. And this one was vessel safety regulations. Okay, sounds like you've gotten that fixed. Let's see. And then 65. Well, he really wrote you up that day, didn't he? Boy, oh boy. Failed to possess registry, yep. That one will be, I'm probably gonna end up dismissing all of these and we can do it at the end. 66. Display of vessel numbers, and you've gotten that fixed. And then this one is, and you got the decal and everything on the vessel now? Good. 67, I believe you. So I'm gonna have to do a court order dismissing those, which I will do at the end of the docket today, so you won't have to worry about those either. But I'll do a signed order that dismisses the citations too. Okay, so you're good. Now you know what to do with your kayak, right? All right, thank you. Let's see here. All right. All right, who's next? Hi, good morning. What's your name, ma'am?
Erica Price, Price.
All right, Ms. Price. And your case is 21 CT 223?
Yes.
All right, and this is a attached tag validation not assigned. Have you gotten it fixed?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Can you show it to Mr. Rabb, please?
That was 12 citation. And that's the North Boston case 21 CT 233.
All right, your case is dismissed. Thank you. You too. Give me 1 second, sir. Oh, great. Sorry, just give us 1 minute. What's your name? All right, Mr. Gaspar. Thank you. We'll get you. All right. I just, I had another matter pending at 11, so I just need to make sure I can get it covered. Sometimes these arraignment dockets take a little longer than we expect, but. All right, let me just find them real quick. All right. Well, that makes me feel better knowing that he's covering. All right, so. All right, let's see here, Mr. Gaspar, let me find you. And I just need to get into my other stuff because I went out of it. All right.
Here's that Mr. Gaspar has 2 cases, Your Honor.
Yes, let's find your 2 cases, Mr. Gaspar. And your cases are 21 CT 253 and 21 MM 176. So the CT case is failing to register motor vehicle. Have you gotten your vehicle registered? Do you have it with you? Okay. So you don't have it done yet? So you have the trailer registered but not the boat? And the boat but not the trailer, okay. Does it make sense, Mr. Rabb, just to enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf and set up for a pretrial to have him get both of them done?
Yes, Your Honor. Just for the oral record, the state has not received a call affidavit yet from the arresting officer, so the state has not made a final decision on this case yet.
Okay.
The initial request was going to be to roll it for arraignment for 2 weeks, and clerk and the court will refer to this pretrial documents that move out of the arraignment. Then we have just prefer to roll it all the way up to discretion of the court.
He's in the same situation as the last gentleman where it's like he has 3 in cases that are coming up to be paid.
Oh, okay. So you got a bunch of other boating citations on top of it.
Yes.
When are those due to be paid, Lisa?
First.
Those are due to be paid by March the 1st, so.
So why don't we just roll this week then?
Yes. Why don't we do this? We're going to move your case for a week for another arraignment. It won't be me, it'll be another judge. But so what you should do at that arraignment is come in, bring all your paperwork so that Mr. Rabb or the other attorney that's going to be here will see it. And that way they can decide whether to get rid of the charges against you. Also to help you with the citations, just like I did with the other gentleman. If I see paperwork from somebody that shows that they've complied with everything, then I can do an order dismissing the citations as well. Okay, so just come back and bring all the people with you you've got with you, bring it all with you, and we'll deal with it then. What's the date? Everything, yes. Whatever you got. If there's an issue with decals, take some pictures, show that you put the decals on it so that it, we see it. If it were me and I knew that you'd done all that, like with the other gentleman, I just dismiss them for you because you complied. We want you to comply. And you took the initiative and got your issues fixed, and that's what we really want. We like that. Unfortunately, I can only give you a week, and the reason I can only give you a week is because your citations are coming up to be paid on March the 1st. So if I give you more time than that, then we won't be able to address your citations. You'll have to pay them, and they're probably $90 a piece. All right? Okay. So we'll see you in a week. What's that date? 25th. Yep. See you then. February. A week. It does feel like March. Hi, good morning, ma'am. What's your name? Dima Josefina Lopez Luis, 21 CT 230. Okay. Court will make a finding that she requires the services of the Spanish-speaking interpreter. And you're charged with no valid driver's license. Do you think you can get a driver's license? Okay, so what the court will do is enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Set you for a pretrial. Yes, I understand. You're charged with no valid driver's license. Court is going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I will schedule you for a pretrial with Judge Provost. That will allow you to come back with a driver's license if you're able to get one. If you're not able to get a driver's license, you do qualify for the deferred prosecution program, which is that program I mentioned earlier that goes through probation and would allow you to have your charges dismissed. Okay? All right, thank you. Hi, good morning, sir. What's your name? Good morning. All right, Mr. Avery, just let me find you. And all right, you are 21 CT 235. Let's see what we got. Leaving the scene of a crash. And sir, would you like to enter a plea of not guilty on this and speak with an attorney? So that's what we'll do. It will go to Judge Adams on his pretrial docket, April 5th at 9 o'clock. Okay, that'll give you an opportunity to talk to someone about your charges. All right, thank you. Hi, good morning, sir. What's your name? Court will make a finding that Mr. Perez requires the services of the Spanish-speaking interpreter. For the record, this is case number 20 CT 170. Oh. I don't see a second Perez. I only see Jose Jack. Huh. Yeah, I only have this gentleman. And sir, you are charged with driving while your license is suspended, canceled, or revoked. And also not changing your driver's license within 20 days. Did you get it fixed? Fantastic. Can you show it to the state, please? Oh, I'm ready.
Oh, apologies.
Yes.
Your Honor, the state has confirmed that the defendant has a valid license.
Okay.
However, this case involves 2 counts.
Okay.
The defendant has stated that the vehicle he was driving at the time is total.
Okay.
And therefore registering the vehicle would be possible.
Okay.
The state is requesting that this be continued
Okay.
to allow the defendant to show proof that the car no longer is in.
Para que el Estado pueda probar con documentación que el auto ya no está.
So, sir, we just need proof that the car's been totaled. If you could just get us a police report or something from a salvage yard, just a piece of paper that shows that, in fact, that the car has been disposed of. We need that.
I have the got everything at home. They came me on with
So we just need to have you come back with that paperwork. We're going to give you a new court date. That's what I was going to ask Mr. Rabb. What's your preference? You want to move it?
Probably be easier for an arraignment, so prosecutor to see that documentation here.
Okay. How bad does next week look? Because I don't want to put another judge through what I just went through this morning with this huge docket. Yeah, let's go to the 25th. They look at the docket and go, why is the docket so bad? Oh, Judge Nicola rolled them all over to your docket. Okay. No. All right, sir. So you're going to come back on March 25th and you're going to have all that paperwork with you, and then we'll be able to take care of you. All right. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, good morning. What's your name? Okay, I need help with spelling. Madrano?
Yeah.
Anna, okay. It's 21 CT 232. Court will make a finding that she requires a Spanish-speaking interpreter. Charged with no valid driver's license. Are you able to get a license? All right, so what the court will do is I will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I will set you for a pretrial. That will allow you the opportunity to do 2 things. Number 1, you can see if you qualify to get a driver's license through the Department of Motor Vehicles. And number 2, if you cannot get a driver's license, you do qualify for the Deferred Prosecution Program. So you could go to probation and talk to them and see if you want to sign up for that, allowing your charges to be dismissed if you complete it. Okay, that makes sense? All right, perfect. What's your court date? April 5th would be your court date. If you get a license, you come back with it, okay? All right, thank you. Hi, good morning. Caceres, 21 CT 37. Court makes the finding she requires a Spanish-speaking interpreter. Caceres. 21 CT 37 is her case number. Charged with no valid driver's license. Are you able to get a license? Can you show it to Mr. Rabb, please? I know, I'm starting to look tired. Feeling a little bit tired. I'll rally though.
So, right now, Your Honor, this is showing as expired. It's, the state system is still showing it as expired. When was this issued?
El sistema dice que está vencido. ¿Cómo son se discutió
Over a week ago.
una semana?
Yeah. However, for whatever reason, it's still showing as expired on David.
Por alguna razón dice que
Let's just see. Hold on. Let me look. Come on. Mr. Rabb, what's your driver's license number? Oh, okay. Can you show it to me? Yeah. That's true. You know what? I can always just stop the YouTube. When I look at the Department of Motor Vehicles website, it says that she had a Class E driver's license. It didn't show as a permit, so I don't quite understand why you have a permit and not a regular driver's license.
La señora que era ella ella me dijo que cuando tuviera mi otra hoja de corte que me está por llegar, entonces que con esa hoja fuera a pedir la licencia y que me iba a dar mientras esos permisos de 60 días.
the tax collector department told me that I had to get documentation, get my driver's license, But in the meantime, she was gonna allow me, like, I issue this temporary permit.
That would have gone through the Department of Motor Vehicles, right?
Eso lo estaba del Departamento de Vehículos y Motores.
And just for the order record, Your Honor, the defendant has handed me a document that states for Department of Highway Safety Motor Vehicle Division of Motor Services, temporary driving permit.
But it looks like it's now expired.
That's the interesting part, Your Honor. It does have an expiration date of April of this year.
Okay. That's so weird because the DMV, when I looked at it, said it was expired like 3 years ago. Yours says it was expired a week ago. So I'm kind of not understanding. It's weird.
I would request, Your Honor, that we continue this for a week or for next week. Allow the defendant to go to the 6th floor.
Yes.
To allow our office to make a copy of this and send to the prosecutor for us to look at and investigate further.
All right. So we're going to continue your case for one more week, just to make sure that you do have the right paperwork, okay? I appreciate you going out and getting this done, but from our standpoint right now, it doesn't look like our computer information is caught up, so we need a week. Can you go to the 6th floor state attorney's office? Have them make a copy of that, please? And then we'll see you back here in a week. Thank you. All right. Hi, good morning. What's your name?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, Yesenia Espina.
How do you spell your last name?
E-S-P-A-I.
E-S-P. I don't have you.
It was on the docket outside. E-S-P-A-I-L-L-A-T.
I don't have it.
And your first name is Yesenia, J-E-S-E.
21 MM144.
I don't even have that name on my docket.
That's because, you have the public defender and the case has already been reset to April 1st for a pretrial. So you didn't have to come here. It was reset yesterday.
Nobody informed me or anything.
But you have a public defender, you should keep in contact.
Definitely call.
I mean, I call her every day and leave messages and I'm like,
So what you should do right now is go to the 5th floor and make an appointment to see her. They will give you an actual appointment. So,
first,
I can give you
yes.
a copy.
Yeah, we'll give you a copy because
Appreciate it.
I think the best thing to do would be to go up there and say, I need an appointment. I want to have a meeting.
What's going on?
Absolutely.
Taking care of this issue.
Absolutely. No, I agree. And I absolutely, no, I would feel the same way. So that's why I'm saying, make an appointment with her, and the next, that's okay. I get it all the time. It's the hair. So let me just tell you this. So, your case is being set for a pretrial, which is what that is. And the way that we're doing things right now is we're doing everything by Zoom. So we have this computer, and you won't need to appear at the pretrial. Ms. Armpriester will appear on your behalf. Who's her judge?
It looks like it's Judge Adam.
Okay.
And they dropped 3 of the charges. So the only thing you have pending is the trespass.
And I'm in the friendship house right now. So.
Right. Does she qualify for diversion, Mr. Rob? Because she does not? Okay. All right. So Judge Adams does everything remotely. And all of his hearings and almost all of my hearings are broadcast live on YouTube. So, because you won't be appearing remotely and your lawyer will be, if you decide you want to watch it, then sitting with those kids and you're like, oh, I want to watch something, you can just go to Judge Adams. I know, I have one subscriber to my YouTube. You can go to his remote hearings and you can watch the proceeding live on YouTube.
Is it Blake Adams?
Blake Adams, yes. Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we gave you some good news, even though you had to sit here all morning.
Because I am trying to get a kids back and St. Matthew's is helping me. I got evicted or and trespassed from my home.
Oh,
I've been that for 10, almost 8 years.
well, I'm sorry to hear that.
No, it's okay.
But you know what? St. Matthew's House is a great organization and they're helping you.
I'm helping me in my kids' lab, so I'm very, very happy.
Well, this is a good start, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck with your children. Thank you. Hi, good. Next,
It looks like it's April 1st.
April 1st. Thank you. Hi, sir, what's your name? Ventura. Thank you. All right, Mr. Ventura, you're 21 CT 222. Court will make a finding that he requires the services of the Spanish-speaking interpreter. Sir, you are charged with having no valid driver's license. Do you think you can get one? All right, so what the court will do is the court will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I'll schedule you for a pretrial. And that'll allow you the opportunity to see whether you can get a driver's license. That will also allow you the opportunity to talk to a lawyer if you would like to. As I said, if you can't afford a lawyer, you could make application, for the services of the public defender. I'm going to drink this whole bottle of water this morning. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll see you, when are we sending that pre-trial? April 12th at 9?
Yeah.
April 12th at 9. All right, we'll see you then, sir. Thank you. Hi, good morning. What's your name? All right, Ms. Lopez. I found you. Does it say, it says defendant to state correct something, but I can't read the note. And this is 21 CT 307. What's your date of birth, please? Thank you. 1983.
Okay, we had it backwards.
Okay. Court will make a finding that you require the services of the Spanish-speaking interpreter. And you're charged with having no valid driver's license.
Yes.
Do you think you can get one?
I want to have one, but I don't know how to get one here.
Okay, well, you would need to make application with the Florida Department of Motor Vehicles, which probably will require you to do a written test and a driving test. There may also be other requirements. It's the ghosts. You would also have to ask them, I don't know the answers to what it would take to get a driver's license, but I'll certainly allow you the opportunity to try and get one.
As far as I know, for the moment, there's no way that I can have a driver's license.
Okay. Well, in that event, ma'am, I will tell you that you do qualify for the deferred prosecution program. Would you like to explore that option?
Yes.
So the court will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf, set you for a pretrial, and you'll need to go to probation and sign up for diversion.
No, I do not understand anything.
Okay. I speak too fast? Okay. I am finding her to be muy rapido. I don't understand what she's saying either. All right, we're going to start this all over again. First of all, I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to take a deep breath. No problem. De nada. Okay. What does she speak?
That's why it is difficult for me to understand Spanish as well.
What language do you speak?
¿Qué lengua habla usted?
Una lengua que se llama mixteco.
That called Mixteco.
Miztaco? Are close?
Yes.
M-I-L-I-X.
C-O.
Mestako.
X. Yes, X.
M-I-X. Ya, X. A poquito nomás me mucho.
Mixteco.
También, pero tiene.
All right. It says it's spelled Mixtec.
If I'd rather have a Mixteco interpreter, there are no Mixteco interpreters in Spanish.
No, I understand. I did not realize that you didn't speak Spanish.
Yo no sabía que usted no hablaba español.
Yo no hablo 100%, pero hablo como un 30-40%.
Español.
Sí.
I don't speak 100% Spanish, but I speak 30 and 40%.
Okay. Well, that's not enough to make me feel comfortable.
No, eso no es suficiente para que me sienta cómodo.
Sí.
Yes.
What that means is that you don't understand me.
Eso significa que usted no me entiende.
El inglés nada, el español poquito.
Nothing of English, a little of Spanish.
Well, I want you to understand.
Yo quiero que usted entienda. I'm going to try.
Okay. I am going to make a finding that she requires the Mixtec interpreter.
Yo voy a tomar la determinación de que usted necesita un intérprete Mixteco. There is no one here.
Not today, but we will find somebody for you.
No, pero buscaremos uno.
I don't have someone today. I'm so sorry.
Aquí hoy no tenemos ninguno. Lo siento. I know.
Going to enter a plea of not guilty on her behalf and set her for pretrial. Give you a different date.
What am I going to do in the next day?
We're going to find somebody that can interpret, probably over the phone.
Vamos a buscar una persona que pueda interpretar por teléfono.
Prefieren que usted me explique en español, es mejor para salir ese para no regresar yo para.
I'd rather you explain to me in Spanish so that I don't have to go back here again.
My problem is you just told me you understand very little Spanish.
El problema es que usted me acaba de decir que usted entiende poco el español.
There is no way I can resolve your case today.
No hay forma de que yo pueda arreglar su caso.
I do not feel comfortable that you will understand me.
No sé, para conseguir esa gente no sé cómo van a hacer.
I don't know what are you going to do in order to get an interpreter for that.
I will have to call language line.
Yo llamaré al servicio de idiomas en línea.
That is a service that has worldwide interpreters.
Es un servicio mundial que tiene intérpretes.
Some languages are very difficult to find an interpreter.
Algunas lenguas son difíciles de encontrar un intérprete,
But we have to find one to help you so that you can understand.
pero tenemos que encontrar uno para que usted entienda.
It is not fair to you to not understand what's going on.
No hay mundo para usted no entender todo lo que está sucediendo.
But I did not know until today that you spoke a different language.
Pero yo no supe, hasta ahora yo no supe que usted hablaba.
Now that we know, we'll do everything we can to help you. We will do everything we can to help you.
Todo lo que podamos para ayudar.
veces se hace que no intentemos todo, pero siempre decimos que somos culpables, nomás para salir todos.
There's a lot of people who show up here who don't understand everything, but we just plead guilty just to get this forward.
Well, I'm not going to let you do that.
Then no voy a permitir que hagas.
And when I find out that somebody is pleading guilty just to get it over with and don't understand, I stop the proceedings.
Eso de que una persona no entiende todo el procedimiento, pero se declara culpable para salir de esto.
What if I told somebody they were going to jail and they didn't understand it, and then I send them back there?
A ver, ¿qué pasaría si una persona dice no entiende todo completamente y ahora lo envío para acá si lo mando para la corte secretaria?
That would be really unfair.
Eso sería bien injusto.
Or if I told them that they owed $3,000 and they didn't understand they owed that money.
Y si le digo que deben $3,000 y no siquiera saben que deben esa cantidad de dinero.
My job as a judge to make sure you understand.
People will pay. People will pay for it.
My job as a judge is to make sure you understand.
Mi trabajo es cerciorarme que usted entienda.
I will not accept a plea from someone who does not understand. And I'm sorry for that, but I can't do it.
So when is my next time that you go?
March 29th.
That's all we know.
March 29th at 9 a.m. Thank you.
All right, gracias.
Gracias.
Pero realmente voy a poner para
What is her name?
Yolanda Lara, por favor.
Yolanda Lara, she assured me that.
Lara, L-A-R-O, there she is. 21 CT 298. Also charged with no driver's license. Court will make a finding that she requires the services of the Spanish-speaking interpreter. And ma'am, are you able to get a driver's license? All right. Does the state have an offer to resolve this matter for Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's offers and
Do you understand that, ma'am? Would you like to accept the state's offer? If you want to do it today, I'll have to do it at the end of this docket, which is when I'm done with all the rest of these people. I could either do that or I could have you come back at 1:30.
Okay.
Do you want to do it after I finish with everybody, or do you want to come back at 1:30? 1:30? Okay, we'll set you for 1:30 this afternoon. Come back. Thank you. We'll see you then. Yes, ma'am. Oh, no, I was just thinking that myself. Is it the 18th?
Wait a minute, 2:15? Oh.
Jen told me I had pleas this afternoon. I'm showing 3 pleas at 1:30. Amy Kirk, Jose Murillo, and Jordan Musamano. Plea docket. Do you see it? It's plea docket.
You know why? Because it's a Judge Crown case. That's why I have to.
Oh.
Okay. I got it.
I think you'd probably rather have me put her on the 1:30 than a 2:15. Or whoever's doing 24s today probably would appreciate that. Oh, it is him? Isn't that funny? Plus, she'd probably rather resolve it today. So we've got a plea and she wants to take it. Let's just get her done. Yes, we will need 1:30 this afternoon. Maybe.
No, well, not, I'm not gonna be here, but we just hold the floor, so.
Oh, okay.
Does it have to be coordinated?
It's, but I'm gonna have her go at 1:30. So could somebody be here at 1:30? I could take her first. You think you could do 1:30?
I will let the board know.
Yeah.
The staff interpreter is more like,
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking. I only look like I have like 5 or 6 people left. Do you want to just do it now when we're done with the docket? Because I might not have an interpreter. That's the only thing I worry about. Although I might have an interpreter needed this afternoon. Let me just. There is. I've got 3 pleas, but I don't know if any of them need an interpreter. That's what I was thinking. Okay. All right. So we'll see at 1:30. Thank you. Perfect. What's your name, ma'am? Ms. Perez. Okay. And I better sign off of Zoom because Judge Brown is going to need it.